25 years ago, we started the Fighting Back program. The Fighting Back program started because of an inspiration of a very special person in my life, Karen Russell. I was working at a gym in Paoli in Chester County, and Karen came into the gym looking to transition from Bryn Mawr rehab to some type of exercise program. Now, Karen came in a wheelchair. She had been working in New York City. She was the same age I was, 23 years old, and she was driving home from New York to see her parents who lived in Westchester. And a drunk driver hit her head on. His lights were off. She never saw him coming. Karen had a spinal cord injury and a head injury. And when I saw her, she was just finishing up Bryn Mawr rehab, and she still had many deficits. She was in a wheelchair. She had some cognitive challenges, and she still had a lot of mobility issues. But what touched me about her, and really what was the inspiration for the whole program, was her attitude. She was amazing. Here we were the same age. She had lost everything in her life, all the things that I took for granted. And she had the most incredible attitude. She came in every day ready to work hard to gain back whatever she could. But she was more about being in the present and really being enthusiastic and helping anybody else around her and being inspiring to all. And that's why the Fighting Back program began. It was her inspiration. I saw in her the opportunity to help people that were coming out of a rehab setting that really had no place to go and no one to work with them. And yet, going through those doors were a huge obstacle, as you could understand, after a life-changing injury or illness. So Karen, as I say, was our first client and really where we built the program around. And as I say, as you build it, they will come, and that's really what happened. More and more patients started to come from Bryn Mawr Rehab as they heard about us. There was no marketing, there was no plan, there was no sales. There was just Karen's inspiration. And as people came, all types of injury and illnesses started to come, from head injuries to stroke to spinal cord injuries to ALS to MS. We had a whole gamut, a series of injuries and illnesses of life-changing situations where peoples and families, in a blink of an eye, their whole world changed in front of them. And we were happy to try to help them once they got out of a rehabilitation hospital. And as more and more we work with these people, we realized that many of them were not only physically and mentally injured, they were also devastated financially because they were the income earner or because their family situation, it took so much time to help the family, it took away from their main job. So a lot of these people had no funds to be able to do anything after rehab. And the insurance companies, once you're cut off, there's no insurance funds available. So right off the base, here we were in Chester County, Pennsylvania, in Paoli, and we had all these people in the gym watching these incredible stories. And one of the members came up to me and said, if anyone ever needs any money, you let me know, I will pay for them. And that began really the birth of the Fighting Back Scholarship Program.
I was really bad. I've had a lot of surgery on my leg, and it's really wild to think back to a year ago today and how I was still in the hospital, how I really wasn't walking, and how they said that I may never walk again. There was no way of knowing. And, yeah, we proved them all wrong, and I'm here talking to you guys.
I had a AVM, a stroke on the Schuylkill. And after 4 hours of brain surgery, the surgeon said not to expect much. So Stephen almost became a single parent, and he began to be a mother and a father.
Dana made it very easy for that to happen. She's my hero. She's the strongest person that I know on the planet.
We have a special relationship with Trooper Armistead. He represents a lot of things for us. At first blush, he represents one of our biggest problems, which is fear. At any time, we know and our loved ones know that the next pursuit or the next response to an armed encounter might result in injury or death. The only thing that we can really do for him is the following.
Breeze.
We all know Scott has no social life. The man is a total loser.
What Debbie did for me in my time fighting back was incredible. I think, again, as I'm here today and I don't need a wheelchair any longer and I use the cane rarely, she has pushed me to that point, and she truly affected my life in a positive way. I mean, there's no way I could thank her enough or express in words how much she has done for me, but she truly had a positive impact on my life.
And Scott. You ready?
I'm ready.
Ever since I met Scott, he has been a positive influence in my life. He's always encouraging and finds ways to make me feel comfortable. Scott? Scott?
Yes?
You rock.
Paul, tell us a little bit about, just coming to the program, coming to Fighting Back. How does it help you deal on the mental aspect of just dealing with your disease?
Mentally, it's good because when I come here, I can see that I can still do things. A lot of people at my stage aren't walking. I know it hits everybody differently, but it makes me feel normal.
After that, I made my transition to Fighting Back, and this really is the extension of rehab for me. It's not the traditional rehab where you're working on focusing on the leg muscles, but it's just the conditioning that you need to live the life that I have right now.
I just look at all the positives I have in my life right now. I woke up out of the coma, was able to really overcome the traumatic brain injury. I'm thankful that I'm just a paraplegic. I see the quadriplegics, and that would be a lot tougher road. I'm just thankful I have the full arm strength, thankful that I have the mind that I have, and it's really easy to overlook not being able to walk if you see the positives in those aspects.
One of the most exciting things that's happened to me lately was in 2012 when the University of Pennsylvania approached us about taking our 23 years of work with Fighting Back and actually try to do a research project about could you apply the model of the Fighting Back Scholarship Program to the veterans population. Now, I had been in the military for 20 years. I was with the Pennsylvania Army National Guard. I absolutely loved the military. I retired as a major. I was on active duty for a year and a half during the Persian Gulf War, and I actually was stationed here in the United States, and my responsibility of many of the duties was to take care of the families. So I had a very unique perspective of war and a very unique perspective of injuries and illnesses and even deaths as it related to the impact of the family. So when Penn approached us about the idea of combining two things that I was very passionate about, the military and Fighting Back, I was really excited. And they did an amazing job in their feasibility study. They partnered with the VA in Philadelphia with a gentleman named Dr. Keith Robinson, who's done so much wonderful work for veterans. And what they found was that there was a real need for a program like ours, but they weren't sure how it would play out. So they recommended that we do a pilot study for it. So in 2013, in the fall, we did some research. We ended up getting 3 individuals, and we launched the pilot program with some funding from an organization called Council on Brain Injury. And it's been an amazing experience for me. Everything I thought it would be, it has been. Working these veterans takes me right back to the military and reconnects me to these special individuals that I served with for 20 years. You know, the soldiers that serve and protect our freedom are a very, very special group. They love what they do. They love the culture of the military. As my wife said, I was brainwashed effectively, and you know, that's part of it. But we love what we did for the military. We love what we did for the country. And those individuals that serve our country and get injured, be it at war or be it at peacetime, really do make the ultimate sacrifice. And a lot of times those injuries are lost because the injuries cause the soldier to have to be discharged from the military, and then they lose their family, they lose their community, they lose the thing that they love the most. And a lot of times they're sent home into the civilian world, which they're not as comfortable with. And our pilot project really showed me that, and showed me the importance of connecting, me being a soldier, but also reaching out to these individuals in the community that are somewhat isolated. All they really have is the VA to go to for medical benefits, but they don't have a lot of community resources. There's a tremendous interest in helping veterans today, and I'm really excited about what the Fighting Back Scholarship Program is doing. I think it's going to be an incredible program, and I'm looking forward to developing a 3-6-9 plan where we can actually continue to help more veterans get the funding for 6 and then serve 6 soldiers, get the funding for 9 and then serve 9 soldiers. And hopefully this program will continue to grow. It means a lot to me personally, and I hope we can help as many of these well-deserved heroes as we can. They surely have made the sacrifice for us, and it's time for us to give back to them.